It could be that the reason you can't feel settled with them is because Allah doesn't intend for you to. I know that's the last thing you want to accept right now. You've already gone over 100 other reasons in your head. Bad timing, they'll change. Maybe if I'm more patient. You cling to those ideas because admitting the other possibility feels like a kind of pain you can't easily explain to anyone. You've prayed about them, even argued with Allah in your quiet moments. Ya Rab, if they're not good for me, why do I love them so much? Yet, the uneasiness never leaves. No matter how many times you try to start over, you see the same cycle. A week or two of okay days, then a fight, a misunderstanding, or just an empty silence. And you find yourself back in that loop, staying up late, scrolling old conversations, telling yourself next time will be different. But if Allah truly wanted this for you, why does it feel like you're walking against the current every single day? Why does every plan demand that you sacrifice parts of yourself just to keep it alive? This isn't about blaming them or you. It's about facing something we usually avoid. Allah's mercy doesn't always mean someone stays. Sometimes His mercy is removing someone from your hands, no matter how tightly you hold on. So how do you tell? How can you see the difference between a bond worth holding on to and one Allah is saving you from? There are signs, clear ones, if you're willing to notice them. Sign 1, the peace that keeps slipping away. You know that moment right after prayer when your heart feels light and calm, and then your phone lights up with their name. Just like that, the stillness disappears. It's not always because of a fight. Sometimes it's just knowing that every interaction with them somehow leaves you emptier than before. Losing peace isn't only about constant conflict. It's about your mind never fully resting anymore. How you don't notice the Quran playing in the background because your thoughts are stuck on what they said. How you check your phone between prayers and forget you were even doing dhikr. Peace is a gift from Allah. He is the one who sends tranquility into the hearts of believers. If that gift fades every time they enter your space, maybe they aren't from Him. Think about it. Some people leave you calmer, lighter. Others make you feel like you have to rebuild yourself after each conversation. If Allah wanted them to care for you, wouldn't they add to your peace instead of draining it? Wouldn't they draw you closer to Him, not push you further away? The truth is, if Allah doesn't want you with someone, He might allow brief, happy moments to show you what you're clinging to. But He won't let it settle. That restless feeling? That's not you overreacting. It's your fitra knowing the truth your heart doesn't want to admit. Sign 2. The tests stop making you stronger. You've told yourself countless times that every relationship has trials, and it's true. But have you noticed? The right kind of trials make you better. The wrong kind just drain you. Since this person entered your life, do you pray more or less? Do you remember Allah more, or only when you're asking Him to fix your arguments? Do you wake up for Fajr, or wake up to their good morning message and turn over? Some challenges are like exercise, painful, but they help you grow in patience, humility, and closeness to Allah. Other challenges are like sickness, slowly wearing you down until you don't recognize yourself. We like to think Allah is testing our love to see if it's worth it. But sometimes He's showing us this love is costing us our deen. And what's worse than losing someone? Losing the version of you that was close to Allah. Maybe you used to read Quran daily. Now your schedule is shaped around their calls. Maybe you used to guard your salam. Now you delay it so they won't get upset if you hang up. Maybe you used to make dua for Jannah. Now every dua begins and ends with their name. Allah won't keep you in something that makes you forget Him. That's not a trial to win. It's a warning to listen to. When the tests stop building you, they're not really tests anymore. They're signs. Sign 3. Doors keep closing, and it's not random. At first, you call it bad timing, bad luck, or maybe even blame the stars if you believe in that. But after a while, you can't ignore it. Every time you try to move forward, something blocks the way. Not once or twice, over and over. You plan to talk seriously about marriage. Your family suddenly needs you that same day. You save money to visit them. Your car breaks down a week before. You buy clothes for an important meeting with their family. They cancel because something came up. You're not imagining it. You're being blocked. And the more you push, the stranger the obstacles get. Missing documents, random illness, fights out of nowhere before big steps. We expect Allah's signs to be dramatic, a dream, an ayah recited at the perfect moment. But sometimes it's just the same closed door again and again, until you realize this is a pattern, not bad luck. You could call it coincidence. But how many times before coincidence becomes a message? If Allah wanted this for you, would the path really be this impossibly blocked at every turn? Sign 4. You're slowly compromising your values. Think back to the person you were before they entered your life. Not the version you showed online, but the real you. The one who paid attention to prayer times, who felt unsettled if Fajr was missed, who wouldn't let anyone's opinion shake your modesty. Where is that person now? It doesn't happen in a single moment. You don't suddenly say, "Today, I'll give up my principles." It's more gradual, almost unnoticeable at first. Missing Dur once because you were on the phone with them. Then again, until Maghrib comes without you realizing. It's laughing at a joke that would have made you uncomfortable a year ago. It's letting comments slide when they ask why you still wear that, telling yourself it's harmless. Slowly, you start editing yourself. You avoid certain friends so they won't notice the shift. You hide aspects of your faith to avoid questions. You scroll past Islamic reminders because they stir up guilt. The thing about losing yourself is that it's quiet. No one announces it. One day you just notice the reflection in the mirror feels like a lesser version of who you used to be. And if the connection you're in is making you shrink instead of grow, that's not love. It's erosion. Sign 5. Others see the change before you do. When you're too close to a situation, you might miss what it's doing to you. But the people around you, they notice. It begins subtly. A friend says you're not around as much. A sibling jokes that you're always tense. Your mother asks if you're okay because you've been quiet at dinner. You dismiss it as being busy or stressed, but deep down you know, it's them. This person or this bond is taking up more mental space than you want to admit. You laugh less, you're distracted, your patience runs thin, and you're absent for those who genuinely care about you. The truth is, when Allah wants someone or something for you, it won't pull you away from the good in your life. It won't isolate you from your loved ones or your community. If the people who know you best keep saying something's wrong, it might not be them overreacting. It might be Allah speaking through voices you're more willing to hear than your own. Sign 6. They lead you toward what you know is wrong. You begin noticing small shifts in your daily life. Your language changes, harsher, less clean. You laugh at things you'd never want your parents to hear. Hours go by in late-night calls or chats when you should be resting, working, or just living your life. Your weekends change too. You find yourself in places you never used to go, telling yourself it's just once or that everyone is going. You spend time with people who mock things you know deserve respect. But you stay quiet because speaking up would make you the odd one out. You start telling little lies to cover where you were or who you were with. You didn't turn into a bad person overnight, but being around them made wrong feel normal. That's the dangerous part. You don't notice the shift until someone points it out. And by then it feels like this is just who you are. When Allah wants better for you, He doesn't just pull you from bad actions. He removes you from the people who make bad actions feel acceptable. Sign 7. They're not who you imagined. Realization doesn't come in a single dramatic moment. It creeps in. At first, you still see them through the lens you created early on, where you focused on their good traits and quietly set aside the rest. You told yourself no one is perfect, and you could work around their flaws. But then, small things start piling up. They promise something and forget the next day. They speak highly of values, but ignore them when inconvenient. They show kindness selectively, only when it benefits them. Gradually, the image you held of them begins to blur. It's uncomfortable to face because you realize you weren't just in love with them. You were in love with the version you imagined. Admitting that feels like admitting you didn't want to see the truth. But Allah is al-Haq, the truth. And when He wants to protect you, He allows reality to surface in ways you can't avoid. There's an ayah in the Quran, often quoted as a gentle reminder, but in moments like this, it stings in the best way. It may be that you love something while it is bad for you, and Allah knows while you do not know. You think you've lost something, but maybe you never had it. The image had to fade, and once it does, you can't pretend anymore. Maybe that's the point. To hurt you, but to stop you from building your life on an illusion. The truth is, you may not see all 7 signs. Sometimes 1 or 2 is enough. Allah doesn't need to line up every possible warning before protecting you. Sometimes it's a whisper, sometimes a shout. What matters is realizing that His protection doesn't always appear as protection in the moment. It can look like rejection, feel like abandonment, and leave you staring at your phone wondering why what you wanted so badly keeps slipping away. But here's the shift to make. The next time you find yourself forcing something, clinging on while everything around you tries to loosen your grip, pause and ask, what if this is Allah's mercy in disguise? Because when you start seeing His no as guidance rather than punishment, you stop chasing what was never meant to be yours. You start walking toward what won't require you to shrink, bend, or lose yourself to keep it. And perhaps the real victory is this. You come out of it knowing yourself better than before, spotting patterns sooner, recognizing red flags earlier. You realize Allah didn't just remove them, He gave you back to yourself. If you've gone through something like this, make a short dua, even just, Ya Allah, protect me from what is not good for me and guide me to what is best. Your words might be the reminder someone else needs tonight.